Chapter 5. Fake it till you make it. How about cutting me some slack? I'm doing my best here, Robert.
What'd you just say to me? Doing your best? I don't need you to do your best. I need you to do my best.
Another predictable workday at Montrosian Insurance Partners, just sitting at my desk on the receiving end of a barrage of insults masquerading as constructive criticism. Just as I was about to hit my stride, Robert was waiting in the wings to pop my balloon. I wasn't the fastest starter, but once I got off the line, I sure was able to pick up some real momentum. Robert and I had a certain way of communicating, in that he would yell at me and I would do my best to completely ignore him. We made a good team in that regard.
Mike, these are the warm transfer leads. These people have already gone through the hoopla and now want to buy insurance. Every time I pass you the ball, you need to dunk it. Every time you drop that ball, you lose me money. Not to mention, you make me look bad.
All I could do was reluctantly sigh and do my best to placate him. Just when I thought I was starting to progress, Robert pulled me back down to reality.
Let's cut out all the whiny, pity-me-pretty nonsense. I'm here to help you get through the trainee program. I'm not here to cut you some slack.
The typical trainee was able to complete the program within about 5 to 6 months. I'd come close to hitting the 10 policies needed over 30 days. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Look, these warm transfer leads are served up to you like pizza, hot and ready to eat. All you have to do is close them. Just think, 2 more policies and you'll graduate from the trainee program. On to bigger and better things. Best of all, on to be someone else's problem.
Oh joy, I cannot wait. Robert clearly came into work today much like how he preferred his morning coffee. That is to say, extra hot.
What do you think we expect from you at this point in the game?
I don't know. You want me to sell insurance policies?
Exactly. We don't expect you to be some kind of insurance savant. We expect you to show up and work your butt off. We expect you to put in the hours, whatever it takes to be successful here. We are not expecting you to be some insurance guru right now. Put your nose to the grindstone and get the job done. Want to get a refill? Robert said as he pointed over to my empty mug.
I thought you'd never ask. We both did this little laugh and headed back to the break room. The break room was really starting to grow on me. It was the one area in the office that I felt completely safe from ridicule. Our coffee routine was a rather predictable early morning outing. We'd throw out the decaf, which turned out to be someone's idea of trolling Robert. What a sick joke to play on someone that was wound up so tight. Then we'd chit-chat for a little bit and drum up the usual water-cooler-type small talk. This time, Robert chose to dispense with any of our normal pleasantries. He didn't even check the filter to see what was in the pot. Something was impinging his regular routine. Something was amiss, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Robert had a knack for being habitual. Naturally, this salient change in behavior caught my curiosity. I decided the most prudent course of action was to take the roundabout approach. How's everything going?
Aside from you turning out to be a complete flop?
Well, yeah, aside from that, what's good? Robert beamed me this big smile. I knew that a little small talk would cheer him right up.
There's been quite a bit of rumbling lately.
What about?
About these new insurance companies that are popping up like a bad case of athlete's foot.
I mean, aren't there like thousands of insurance companies already?
Well, yeah, it's just that.
Robert began to trail off and fixated on the coffee pot. The coffee maker finished brewing and pinched out a few loud droplets of coffee. Drip, drip, drip. The sound of the drips had totally captivated my attention and monopolized Robert's eye. He wasn't the most stable individual, but we had a good working relationship. Drip, drip, drip.
Mike, do you ever feel like we're just spinning our wheels?
What do you mean?
Do you ever get the feeling that we're just bringing 1 policy in the front door only to lose 2 at the back door?
Robert, when I sell a policy, I'm just happy to sell a policy. I mean, we all got bills to pay, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Is it fair, or are you just saying that? I asked Robert in a smarmy tone of voice.
To be honest, I don't know anymore. I just don't know.
We grabbed our mugs and tiptoed back to the sales floor. The office was reverberating with generic sales lingo. It was the sound of business. It was the sound of commerce. It was the sound that struck a chord in my heart. We touched down in our seats and got back to work. There was a brief respite in the conversation. Robert still had something on his mind, so I decided to throw him a curveball. Why don't we go for a walk?
A walk?
Yeah, let's get some fresh air.
Ha! Fresh air in the San Fernando Valley? Is that a joke? It's like 500 degrees outside.
So, yes?
Sure.
We put our coffee down and headed for the nearest exit. As we approached the exit, Robert drummed up some chit-chat with the other brokers.
Hold all of my calls, boys. I'll be back.
Robert put on his aviators and dodged a bunch of crumped-up wads of paper that were tossed at him. The peanut gallery here was rather unforgiving. As we exited the building, it was like stepping into a microwave. The scent of the burning asphalt really deepened my appreciation for the San Fernando Valley.
What's going on?
What's going on? What'd you mean?
Well, Mike, I'm assuming it was important because you wanted to take the conversation outside of the office.
No, nothing like that. It just seemed like you had something on your mind, that's all.
I sold over $100,000 in insurance last month.
Good for you?
I wasn't finished. I sold over $100,000 last month, but do you know how many clients I lost?
No clue.
You better get a clue real fast, kid. In the last month alone, I lost over $10,000 in cash flow.
That's quite a bit of scratch.
No kidding. And for the life of me, I have no idea why.
Really? You have no idea?
Well, I have my suspicions. They're just unconfirmed.
Such as?
Such as some of these new fly-by-night insurance carriers offering dirt-cheap policies.
Ah, that's where your clients are going?
Well, I don't know yet.
What do you mean? Are they telling you that when they call you, or what?
I haven't been calling.
Why in the world not?
What's the point? They already left me for a cheaper company.
Uh-huh, that's fair. In reality, that had to be the sorriest excuse for an argument, maybe of all time. How could you assume that people were leaving because of price and then not try to verify it? I couldn't help but laugh out loud. The conversation was becoming rather circular, so we mutually decided to head back to the office. Robert's problems seemed more or less self-inflicted in nature. At the end of the day, though, Robert's problems were just that. They were Robert's problems. I couldn't afford to take my eye off the prize. I was too close to fail now. I invested way too much time to fail here.